Whether you're relocating to the Lake Travis area or making a move within the state, the home buying process in Texas has some unique steps you'll want to know. In this video series, I'm walking you through the entire process from choosing the right neighborhood to closing on your dream home. Today, our topic is common home inspection items in Texas, what to watch out for in the Lake Travis area. Before you buy a home, there's one crucial step you don't want to skip: the home inspection. In Texas, and especially in the Lake Travis area, certain inspection issues come up more often than others. If you're buying a home here, you need to know what to watch out for so you don't end up with costly surprises after closing. In today's video, I'll walk you through the most common home inspection issues in Texas, how to handle them, and which ones are serious enough to reconsider your purchase. I'm Ellen Steele with Steele Portfolio Real Estate, and my job is to guide buyers and sellers through the purchasing process and make sure you know as much as possible about the home before you move in. A home inspection is a detailed review of a property's condition performed by a licensed inspector. It covers everything from the roof to the foundation and helps buyers understand potential repair costs before committing to the purchase. Here in Texas, we need to make sure that any home inspector is TREC licensed. This means that they hold a valid home inspector's license and have completed the required education and training hours. Texas homes face unique challenges due to our climate, soil conditions, and common building materials. Here in Lake Travis, homes near the lake, on slopes, or with older construction can have specific issues that buyers should be aware of. I wanted to make a note here that when you own a home, you can do repairs yourself if you want to. Like if you aren't an electrician, but you know how to add a GFCI, or if you aren't a plumber, but you know how to add an outdoor spigot, you can do that. Once you're under contract for a house to sell, any repairs that are negotiated will have to be done by a licensed professional. So if you're a seller, keep that in mind if there's a repair item that you could do, but you want to wait to see if the buyer requests for it to be fixed. If you've completed room additions or the moving of walls in your home, make sure that you have permits for this work, or the buyer may be scared of the quality of work and not want to purchase the house. The home inspection. The home inspection will take anywhere from 2 to 5 hours depending on the size of the home and scope of the work. If there is a pool, septic system, or well, you'll want to have inspections completed on those also. It's best to leave the inspector alone for the duration of the inspection and then meet with him or her at the end of the inspection to review everything verbally and ask any questions. In working through hundreds of home sales over the past 10 years, I've seen buyers ask for nothing after an inspection or ask for every single thing. My rule of thumb when working with a buyer in order to keep everyone happy and moving forward is to ask for health or safety items, like you could get hurt if this thing is not fixed, or items where there was no way to know that the item was deficient from just a typical house showing. Asking for only major items keeps the goodwill between the buyer and the seller and helps move the transaction along to closing. Of course, if a buyer has a concern about a small or apparent inspection item and wants me to ask for it, I will make a very good case to the seller and try to get it covered. Before we get into the specific inspection items, in Texas, after a home inspection, the buyer can do a few different things. If there are no major concerns on the inspection report and the buyer is happy with the condition of the home and ready to move forward, we just move forward. If the buyer finds something deficient on the inspection report and doesn't want to deal with it, they can have it repaired by the seller or be reimbursed in closing costs for the approximate cost of the repair. If we are asking for an item to be repaired, the seller will have to agree to complete the repair and then provide invoices for the work completed by a licensed professional in the field if a license is required in that field. If it's a handyman type repair, there is no handyman license, so that wouldn't be needed. But if it's plumbing or electrical, we would need to see the professional invoice. The repair does need to be completed before closing, and we will want to have that item re-inspected before closing. If we are asking for reimbursement of the cost of the repair, we'll need to get a quick quote or guess a number and hope that the seller agrees with it. This money will reduce your costs at closing and come to you as a seller credit. You don't actually get a specific check for the item, so it will be your responsibility to repair the item after closing. You do run the risk of the repair costing more than the amount we agreed on. Sometimes the buyer will ask for repairs or reimbursement, and the seller will say no to both of those options. At that point, the buyer has to weigh their options and decide if they still want the house in the current condition without the repairs being done or paid for. This is totally an individual decision, and I can help collect quotes, but I can't make this decision for you. I've had buyers back out in situations like this, and I've had buyers decide to move forward with the purchase. It all depends on the severity of the repair and the handiness or budget of the buyer. Usually, if a home is priced below market value, the seller doesn't usually agree to many repairs because they priced the home lower to account for those repairs in advance. Here are the biggest inspection items that I see. Number 1, foundation issues. One of the biggest inspection concerns in Texas is foundation movement. Because our soil expands and contracts with moisture changes, slab foundations can shift, crack, or become uneven over time, especially in homes closer to the lake. Droughts and floods can cause homes to shift over time also. Here's what to look for: cracks in walls, ceilings, or floors, doors or windows sticking or not closing properly, visible gaps around the exterior of the foundation. Minor hairline cracks are normal, but large cracks or significant shifting could mean costly repairs. If an inspector finds foundation concerns, it's almost always worth bringing in a structural engineer for a deeper evaluation. Foundation repairs can run over $100,000, so this is a big ticket item that you want to make sure is functioning properly. Number 2, roof damage and aging shingles. Texas weather can be brutal on roofs, especially with intense sun, heavy rain, and the occasional hailstorm. In Lake Travis, many homes have metal, tile, or asphalt shingle roofs, and each has its own set of potential issues. Things inspectors check for: missing or damaged shingles, common after storms, flashing and vent issues, which can lead to leaks, signs of past water damage inside the attic or on ceilings. A well-maintained roof can last 20+ years, but if your inspector finds major wear and tear, it's worth negotiating repairs or a credit with the seller. Here in Texas, a 30-year roof often only lasts 10 to 15 years, and many home insurance companies won't cover your roof if it's above a certain age. I've negotiated many new roofs throughout my career, and this is generally an item that most buyers can't overlook. Number 3, HVAC system and air conditioning. Summers in Texas are no joke. Many years we have months with every day in the triple digits, and if you have ever spent time in Texas during the summer, you know how important a good AC system is. It doesn't cool down in the evening like it does up north, so if your air conditioner goes down during the summer, you're going to want to take your pets and check into a hotel. HVAC issues are common in inspections, especially in older homes or vacation homes that aren't used regularly. Some signs of HVAC problems: weak airflow or inconsistent cooling, strange noises or odors from vents, an outdated unit. Systems over 15 years old may need replacement. In the last 25 years or so, they've changed the coolants used in air conditioners. It started with R22, then changed to F410A, and now they use A2L class gases, primarily R32 and R45-4B, which have a lower global warming potential. This change, driven by the AIM Act and enacted by the EPA, means no new air conditioning systems will be manufactured with R410A after January 1st, 2025 due to its negative environmental impact. If you're buying a home with an older system, be aware that these old coolants become more expensive over time and become harder to obtain as time goes on. Texas summers are serious business, so make sure that the HVAC system is functioning properly before you buy. A seller may not replace a system that's older but working, and in this case, a home warranty might be your best option to keep it up and running. Number 4, plumbing and water issues. Plumbing problems can range from minor leaks to major pipe failures, and in the Lake Travis area, homes with well water or septic systems have additional considerations. Common issues include leaky pipes or corroded plumbing, especially in older homes. Low water pressure could indicate problems with the water supply. Outdated water heaters. Units over 10 years old may need replacing. Septic system concerns if the house isn't connected to city sewer. I'll also include pool inspections here in this section because if you're buying a home with a pool, you will definitely want to have it inspected. The general home inspector can do a preliminary pool inspection, but if they find anything wrong, we'll want to have a pool specialist come take a look. Many pools built between 2017 and 2023 will show signs of cracking and crumbling, which could be indicative of ASR or concrete cancer. If the pool is older and needs any repairs, the pool company is required to bring the entire pool up to current code when making repairs, even if it's just replacing one component. So a small issue with a pool can quickly turn expensive. If the home has a septic system and is located in an area that drains to Lake Travis, you'll need to get an LCRA OSSF reinspection to ensure it meets compliance standards. Septic repairs can be costly, so we typically ask sellers to have septic systems up to code when listing a home, or we write that into the contract as a buyer. Having the sewer pipes scoped is an extra step in the inspection, but one that can help avoid expensive leaks or repairs in the future. I had a gorgeous Lakeview listing last year, and the buyer had the pipes scoped to check for leaks. They actually found a broken pipe underneath the floor of the bottom level, and the seller ended up having to have it repaired in order to close. The repair meant pulling up the flooring, drilling through the foundation, repairing the pipe, and then putting it all back to normal. It would have been a costly fix later, and the buyer was happy that they found it and were able to get it addressed. The seller had lived there for years and never knew that the leaks were happening underneath their foundation. Number 5, electrical system problems. Faulty electrical wiring is a major safety hazard. Older homes in the Lake Travis area may still have outdated or improperly installed wiring, which can increase the risk of fire or power failures. Red flags include outdated electrical panels like Federal Pacific or Zinsco, which may need replacement, exposed or frayed wiring, not enough grounded outlets, which was common in homes built before the 80s. Electrical repairs can be expensive, so if an inspection reveals problems, get an electrician's opinion before moving forward. Number 6, drainage and water intrusion. Because of the hilly terrain around Lake Travis, proper drainage is essential to prevent water damage and erosion. While it's never fun to go house hunting in the rain, these are some of the best days to check the drainage and gutters of your future home. The inspector will look for standing water or pooling near the foundation, gutters and downspouts that aren't properly directing water away, signs of past flooding or mold inside the home. Homes near the lake or in lower areas may require flood insurance, so it's crucial to check if the home is in a floodplain before buying. Number 7, termites and pest damage. Termites and other pests are a big concern in Texas, especially in wooded areas around Lake Travis. A standard home inspection may not include a full pest inspection, so if the home is older or made out of wood, it's worth getting a termite inspection. Some loan types require it, but I always recommend getting a termite inspection no matter which type of home or financing you're using. Some signs of termite damage: hollow sounding wood, mud tubes along the foundation, small piles of wood dust near baseboards. Pest damage can be expensive to repair, so make sure to get a professional pest inspection. One note here: when people come to view homes for sale and we're out house shopping, it's very common to see dead bugs, like roaches, in vacant houses. These large roaches are scary to people who come from the north or from an area where the bugs die off in the winter. It's actually the small roaches that we worry about here. The big roaches come from outside and generally just want to get back outside. Once you move in, a quarterly pest service will keep these big guys away from your home. Pest control will also keep out ants, scorpions, centipedes, and spiders. We do have a lot of bugs in Texas, but most are easily controllable by a pest company. Termite damage isn't always visible, and depending on the extent of the infestation, could be a big red flag and extensive work needed to clean up the damage. This is one step to never skip. A home inspection is one of the most important steps in buying a home. It helps you avoid expensive surprises and gives you negotiating power before closing. I've had a few clients over the years choose to skip their home inspection, but in those cases, the buyers were in the construction business or they planned to do extensive renovations to the home and they were going to replace all the major systems after closing anyway. For the normal home buyer, please don't skip this step. If you're thinking about buying in the Lake Travis area, I'd love to help guide you through the process. Drop a comment below if you have questions, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more real estate tips. I'm Ellen Steele with Steele Portfolio Real Estate. Lake Travis is waiting for you.